Welcome to the Conscious Creative Podcast, your weekly dose of soul-to-soul conversation that will have you saying peace out to your 9 to 5 to explore in your sacred calling. The topics center around conscious business and interviews with the folks who started them. We'll be exploring the art of being human and what it takes to live your life fully expressed and financially free. I'm Christina Gomes, and I went from high-paying job as a psychotherapist to leaving it all behind for my desire to travel the world playing my original music, to becoming the CEO and soulpreneur founder of freeyourcreativity.org, where I help visionary leaders create the businesses of their wildest dreams. If you have a sacred calling, stick around. My prayer is that you become the permission slip for the collective as you hear the soul-inspiring stories that call you forth into creative action. Let's get to the soul.
So we are here with my client who joined the Elevated Mastermind. This is my client spotlight series. This is Jun, that queer and vegan health coach and relationship coach. Let's not leave that part out. Relationships are so juicy and everything, and business and in life. So I'm so happy that you have this niche, and I'm so happy to talk to you today. Say hello. How are you?
Hey, hello. Oh, this is a pleasure. I am feeling amazing. It's nighttime where I am. It's morning time where you are at. That's why the lighting is so different. We contrast each other in the most beautiful way. And I'm excited to be here and to share a bite of what happened in my life with my business since the moment that I started working with you, and especially since the moment that I joined the mastermind.
Yes, I've just seen so much growth, and that's why I wanted to have you on this series. And I just feel such a kinship and a friendship with you as well. And part of my doing these client spotlight series is to offer my folks, my audience, and your audience, and all the lovely people that get the opportunity to watch this, to see how beautiful the relationship between my clients and myself and the container, how it all holds such a beautiful space for us to be able to all express our gifts. And so I get to live my purpose because you chose to live yours, and you become just a better guide and coach and mentor for your people as we are all being guided and mentored and coached. And I just loved seeing your growth, because I think we had a call around this time last year, an intensive and immersive, you and I. And so why don't you tell the folks a little bit about what it is that you do and your journey from getting started and meeting me a year ago and where you are now.
Beautiful question. Thank you. Yeah, a year ago, I hopped on a call with you and I started investing a bit in you, because a bit more than a year ago, I would say I did my outing. I came out as a coach. And back then I was kind of like, I was really dabbling, I had no clue how to label myself. I had no clue who that I am really serving. I kind of felt like I'm there for everybody because I was just known as this really, really happy person. And I was like, I want to make something out of that, and I need some help. So I was like searching the webs, but you were present in my social media. I mean, I've been following you for a while, even before that I hopped on this first clarity call around a year ago with you. And I just really felt called to not only the way you marketed and, how you spoke into my journey, as it also has been a lot of your journey. I just also felt really called to you because of this whole gypsy vibe, traveling the world, really free-spirited being. And I felt attracted to that. So I decided to start talking to you and to hire you. And what happened then, what you already mind, the Elevated Mastermind I did with you, was over the past 3 months. I think 4 months ago it started, correct? So what happened in between that time and starting the Elevate Mastermind is I couldn't afford you anymore. I was dabbling and I was really trying to make it work, but I was so in the beginning, and not going to blame it, but I'm going to point it out. There was something happening in the world. I think it's called COVID, and it had also a little effect on me.
Yeah, of course.
I still was in touch with you and I still was really inspired, but it just took me a moment and to also get myself really ready mentally to dive in and to drive with you this this car, this vehicle, and be a part of Mastermind.
Yeah, thanks for sharing this story and revealing that piece of it, because so often we hear coaches are just like fall from the sky dream clients. And like that's what you are, to me. Like you're my fall from the sky dream client. You booked a call with me and we hit the ground running, and that's beautiful. But to actually open your heart and reveal the steps that it took to even be ready to immerse yourself in a mastermind experience. And thank you for being truthful for that, because that's how I am in my marketing. It's like, I understand that it can feel like a struggle. And I want to give folks the opportunity to say, well, here's what I did to take myself and empower myself out of that struggle. And it sounds like you had to kind of commit to this, and you had to say, I am going all in. And maybe even now I teach some of my folks to switch the verbiage of I can't afford it to I am finding a way to make it happen, because that's what you did. That's really what you did. You found a way to make it happen. And through that energy, your people oftentimes find a way to make it happen. Because what I notice in this industry is people are afraid to invest in themselves, not because they don't think they'll make back the money, or they don't have the money, or they can't find the money. It's that they don't trust that they will commit to the process. And you have been one of the most committed, especially our time zones. We're so different. You stayed up to be in our container together. And that's a real special quality. And yeah, you're happy. Yeah, you keep going. Yeah, your graphics are beautiful. But I think that depth of quality that you have of commitment is also why you are such a great relationship coach and health coach, because any niche we're in takes this first step of commitment, even though we can't see the results on the other side. So what was it like for you to finally invest in yourself through this mastermind? And what do you feel like you received on this journey?
It felt like coming home in another and in a new way, in a way that was familiar, but in an area that was unfamiliar. So like in a workspace that was unfamiliar, and the way you facilitated calls and the way you also individualized each and everybody's journey by giving all of us, including me, time in almost every call to be individual, to really ask the burning questions that were holding me back from, signing the next dream client, or finding that exact subline of my program that would sell and convert and make people be like, oh, that's really what I need right now. And you mentioned it before, the commitment and the showing up and the knowing that now is now, right? And even if now is not now, I'm doing something in the now that a later point of now can happen, which was my case, right? Like more than a year ago, I wanted to work with you. And then I just had to get things rolling in a way that at some point I can show up. And then bam, you came in with an elevated mastermind container, which was targeted towards people like me that already had something set up, that already were having a small amount of clients, which was my case, and that want to take that to a next level, to go for a 10K launch. And I have to say that the process of clarifying my messaging, first I had some resentment and I was like, no, I'm good like I am. It's all good like I am. And then at some point I realized it is actually so much fun. And there's so much creativity that goes into refining the art of finding those words and shaping the messaging. And I was journaling over years and years, but I also refined with you the art, how I write. And I really enjoy that. I really enjoy now being able to write so directly from my heart and to place it in the places online where the people that I want to work with me. Because that was also a belief I didn't have integrated before the mastermind. I didn't truly believe that they were already out there and just waiting for me to say or write that exact thing. And what the biggest shift that I notice now when it comes to marketing for me is this deep sense of trust and confidence that my messaging is so on point and I know exactly who I'm talking to online as if I would be talking to somebody, like to you now face to face. And then also having the courage now to, like, I write posts at the moment that are like, look, I know you had this date a couple of weeks ago. I know it was messed up. You didn't really like it. And I also know you went on a second one because you felt guilty or ashamed to say no. And I've known these things before, but to actually, does that hit home for you personally as well?
Oh, wow. It's just
Hope
like,
not.
wow.
Hope not.
No, not that personally, but wow. It really has me perking up or like past me. Like, wow. Yes, exactly. Keep going.
And then really realizing that when I speak to those people directly, right, through the social media and through whatever platform I choose in the end, like it doesn't really matter that much. That's also something that I learned at the beginning. I was like, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, what else is there? I'm trying to do a podcast, trying to really serve them all. And I still have them all set up, but I don't nourish them all and use them all in the same amount. And the moment that happened, like my Facebook group started growing slowly, and actually my Instagram following went up quite fast because I started really focusing my attention on one or those two. And I mean, I post the same content on both. So I'm not doing double the work, which is also a takeaway from the mastermind to really cleverly reuse. Cleverly, is that a word? Now it is.
It must be. We are very cleverly. We are.
Very cleverly people.
I believe it.
Yeah, to cleverly reuse that content. And as I mentioned before, really having the courage to point out those people that I'm really talking to. And in my mind, being like, everybody who doesn't feel spoken to, they can unfollow. Like, I'm not on Instagram for you. I'm on Instagram for this, and that, for exactly that person that wants to go on a second date, but in their heart, they know that it's not their truth. Or for that person that wants to go to another demonstration. Since I started targeting activists, a lot of vegan people actually come to me now, and just speaking to them. Like, I'm on Instagram for those, for the other people that I have friendships with, I have their WhatsApp number. I'm on WhatsApp. I can text them there. I don't have to show my family in the stories what is happening in my life. I can send them personal messages, which is also really beautiful because it started creating deeper bonds with the people that I already called friends or family members. And Instagram I don't care about that anymore. I'm like, Instagram is for my marketing. It's my heart mission. It really feels aligned with, and I find a lot of joy in it. So everybody who thinks like what you're doing, I don't get it, or it's fake, or I don't care, I'm like, just unfollow me.
Wow. Yes. I feel this. And I see that growth in most of my clients because there's a few of you who have boundless energy. And I would say that you have boundless energy because of the way that you approach life from this place of like happiness and your happiness first. And that's why you became this mental health guide and helping people to, in the beginning, like be happy, and gain that happiness that others saw in you. And I really loved how you took those tools of happiness, of belief work, of mental health work, and you applied it to folks that you were lit up to work with. And what I love about you is like many coaches will be like, you have to have a niche. You have to be one thing. And you were like, I'm niching, but these are two programs that I really love. And working with both activists and working with folks who want to better their relationships and have conscious relationships. And so it's this beautiful dance that you create of taking my wisdom, my knowledge, and integrating it into your own being and doing what you truly want to do. And it's just flowing. It's so lovely because with that boundless energy, we tend to kind of go, oh, I can have a YouTube channel. I can have a podcast. I can have this. I can have that. And I know that we worked a lot on this because I say this a lot, but it often takes a few of my clients like just doing it before they realize, yeah, you were right on that. I don't want to have a podcast and a YouTube and a Facebook group. And it's just like, even me hearing that, I'm like, because as we both know, the sales side of things and actually talking to other humans and the delivery, now that you have filled out client programs and probably more and more people who are reaching out to you as you send that magnetic message out, we actually don't have the physical time to be marketing. So that repurposed strategy of you can actually be very, very visible, be in more than one place at a time without doing so much work. Because the real beautiful journey that you get to go on with people is when they see you on these social media platforms, is where are you taking them next? And they get to talk to you and they get to see if you're their guide, and you get to have an enrollment call or a connection call and bring them closer and closer to that place of deep and long-lasting transformation, which is inside your containers. So how has it been to work with dream clients, folks that just light you up to actually work with inside of your containers?
Very energizing, very energizing. Something that you just said before, I want to piggyback on that for a minute. You pointed out repurposing your content and reusing your content. And what I realized now that I'm working with those people, and I am still, like, it's what you taught me is create the offer, test it, run it once, refine it, and keep that process going. And I realized that with one offer, or in my case, two offers now, I have the Changemaker program, which is really for people that want to have inner alignment and deep fulfilled happiness, and mainly for our activists that want to use that energy to create a better world. And I have the Conscious Relating Mastermind, which, as you said before, is for people that struggle with healthy relationships, including the ones they have to themselves, the people around them, the friends, and the intimate relationships. And what I realized is with being able to have this amount of clarity, that amount of structure, and also already a set amount of content that I published, is I don't even have to repurpose it anymore. I can sometimes just kind of copy, paste, and adjust a little bit, because the programs stay the same, like they optimize. When I started launching the Conscious Relating Mastermind for the second time, which will be starting in this January, actually, I took the best of the posts that I used for the first pre-launch, copied the text, adjusted some things, pasted a new photo or some sliders or even a little short reel or whatever it is, and replaced. And I have so much more time now to even be with the people in the container. And this is also what lights me up, because as you have provided in your mastermind, that inside of the group calls, we have access to you, yet also outside of the containers, we have access to you via, back with us, it was the Slack app. Now you're using the community feature by Kajabi, which I believe it's amazing, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I integrated that into my containers as well. And I remember that every time when I had a question, or somebody in our group in the mastermind had a question to you and we posted it, we asked it outside of the calls, the live calls, we got fast answers from you. And I really felt that you were with me on this. You were excited for what I was creating. You felt what I was doing. And that momentum is fucking priceless. So thank you for that. And I started integrating that into my coaching containers. And for my clients, it's the same thing. Like, wait, I have access to you 24/7. Like, I can send you a message and within a day or max 2, you give me a proper response. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. I thought I'm just going to pay for like weekly calls. I'm like, I'm with you on this. I got you. And I have the same thing with you. So
I love that. You really are my dream client. It's like why we learn how to market and sell, and we learn from such a beautiful place, and we want to do it from a heart-centered place, is because our real gifts lie in the containers, the delivery, the space holding. And we do have the gift. You really have. You are excellent at showing up, and you are a graphic designer, and your marketing is so gorgeous, and we can feel that. But that is an extension of how you show up. And that's why you were resonating with me. And thank you for expressing that, because it really is about that. And when I have more time and more spaciousness to be there for my clients, to really be on the journey with them, they feel that. They feel that before they join my containers. And they're super delighted in my container. And that even that idea of like, I have access to this human, because that's how it is in my container as well. I have access to this human, right? You feel their presence. And I don't always utilize the access to the human, but you feel that presence of them there. And maybe even their coaching, and you can kind of self-coach with the things that they have said. And yes, I invite all my clients, please ask, and sometimes I have to encourage, because some of us aren't used to receiving that level of support. And really, it took me, clearing my schedule of the things that I wasn't really excited to do, start to hand those tasks off. But really everything in my business I'm excited to do. And that's really where it comes from for both of us. It's like, you seem like you have boundless energy. You seem like you're everywhere on the internet because you really love the work that you do. And so creating a graphic or having a podcast with someone, it's part of it all. It nourishes the both of us. And it's just a beautiful thing to step into. And so I encourage anyone who is wondering, like, how do I really do this? Like, part of my program is about delivery. Part of my Conscious Creative Business School helps you to create one signature offer. Now, Jun has two because he's going for it. That's what he wanted to do. And that's boundless energy. But if you have one signature offer or two signature offers, you really don't have to start from scratch anymore. Just like you said. And I do the same thing. My sales emails are the same emails that worked the last time. A lot of my content is the same content. And it's literally can be this way, because why fix something that isn't broken? And we might as well, there's new people coming into your world all the time that haven't seen that post that you created a year ago that really touched the heart of people. And we're writing and holding space so much in our marketing. We want to reuse that. It's not like it's a book that can be read and dog-eared and read again. It's like our social media accounts seemed so fleeting. And it's like, no, I really wrote this from my heart and I want it to be seen again. And so really, like, repurpose your content, everyone out there. It's working for the both of us. It's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And so how can people work with you? How can they find out about your programs? What is it like to work with you inside your containers?
So how can they find me? You said it before. I'm all over the internet. Well, Instagram and Facebook are two platforms that I use a lot. I also have a podcast that is published via Anchor and is accessible on Spotify. I'm sure you'll share it somewhere here. I don't know where it's just going to be, down in the comments or something, the description of it. And how is it like to work with me? This is actually really interesting because I saw this post of you that you made recently. And in there, you wrote about, what do people know me for? What am I known for? And the beauty of me being on the journey as a coach over more than a year now is I became known for things already, right? And I didn't really realize that yet until I started asking, what am I actually known for? Like, I know myself for these things, but do other people know me for these things as well? And so there are four things that have crystallized over working with you, being in the mastermind. And then even after that, because I took those lessons that are in the course that we looked at, your course that you provided us access to inside of the Elevated Mastermind. I went through it again and again. I'm really digging those resources. So thank you for that. The lifelong access, really using it. And the four things that I came known for is, first of all, I call it the change maker spirit, which in your words, boundless energy. And this presence, I used to underestimate that a bit, like this energetic presence of me in someone's life, same as you in someone's life. I call it the change maker spirit. And it's really an energetic field that elevates you and makes you feel empowered and makes you feel like you can reach those goals. So that's one of the things that people inside of my containers receive, and they feedback that. They're like, hey, after every call, even if we do shadow work, even if we look at trauma experiences, which is also part of my coaching, because I'm not only about light. I mean, we got to dig the shadows to understand the light. That's my concept of how I work. Mm-hmm. And so getting them elevated, getting them feel empowered, that's one of the things. The second thing is my skill set around communication, which reflects in visual communication, but mainly in conscious relating conversation. So I've gotten to known for the way I engage when I go on dates, the way I engage when I use dating apps, the way I set myself up when I want to meet someone, and the way I keep meeting them and keep communicating to them and with them, like pure honesty, work through the guilt, work through the shame, and don't act for me anymore. So people leave my conscious relating containers with a certain amount of clarity about how can I actually engage from my heart instead of overthinking, or engage from shame, from guilt, from fear, from lust, which is a classic as well. Like, the sex is so good, so why should I give it up? Yeah, maybe everything else is not serving you,
Right.
Ditch the sex, honey. Great sex is everywhere. And ditch pride. That's the last one that I teach, ditching pride, because pride often separates us from one another, and conscious relating is about unity. So that's the second thing, conscious relating. The third thing is the authentic positivity, which we already talked about, that I'm vibrating and I'm infusing the space that I'm in, that I'm hanging out in with. And the fourth thing is actually my queer and vegan lifestyle. So that's a funky combination not a lot of people have lived through. And for me, being a queer man, I would say at the moment I'm about 92% gay and 8% bi or something, shift a bit, but mainly into men right now. Sorry, ladies. One off the market.
Sorry, ladies. Thank you for apologizing. So sweet.
Anyway, and walking through this journey of coming out, of facing that fear, and with the sexual orientation, it's something that a lot of people connect strongly to their own image of who I am. But you're not your sexual orientation. You are not. You are you, and that's part of how you choose to live. And also coming through this transformation of, I used to work at McDonald's. I used to be into meat. I grew up in Switzerland. A lot of cheese. You too.
I did. We didn't know that. I was at the drive-thru.
Yeah, same. I was a bit everywhere because I was good at everything. But yucky, those oils. Ew,
I had acne.
Yeah, same. All over my back. It's funny. Synchronicity. Oh my God. Well, anyway, coming from that, and then going through vegetarianism and then realizing, hey, compassion is a thing for me. I really want to live compassion. How do I do that? And then at some point, veganism came up and I watched some movies and it hit me hard. And I was like, okay, there's no way back. And then you look at the whole world doing its thing and a huge animal industry, and a lot of people still support it and then coping with that. It's a tough challenge. So that's also the fourth thing I've gotten to be known for, is that people that are queer and or vegan or both, they come to me because they feel what I've gone through and they possibly have a very similar life path, life journey. Did that answer the question? I went into a flow again.
Yeah. So much is blossoming in me on thought leadership and the energetics of how all this works. So in my programs, I'm really known for being a holistic coach, you as well, that we are dealing with in marketing and sales, the energetics of it, how our thoughts create our results, and strategies, like how to step-by-step strategies. Because I feel like it can't be done any other way. And once you get the energetics of it, and that could be very natural for someone like you, you're seeing how, yes, you're marketing, I'm that queer and vegan coach, health and relationship coach. And so you're saying that, but people are resonating with you as their guide because you're going to understand them. They can feel an energy from you, just like you felt that kind of world traveler in me. And yes, it's like obvious. It's like, sure, maybe it's obvious, like my band on my hat, like I got this in Peru, like it's not something I'm trying to hide, but there's these little viewpoints, these little connection points that bring us together, really. And we never know why somebody's hiring me. And sometimes they or us, and they don't know the whole depth, or they can't see the unseen realms that exist in it all. And the synchronicities, like we sense them, we get them here and there, just like that synchronicity of the McDonald's synchronicity that we're, after a year now, just coming to realize, but yes, we just sense each other's values. And also in our marketing, we're sharing each other's values. But you said something like you took a concept and you gave it your own name and you're getting known for this. This is something that I teach inside of my Conscious Creative Business School and that you get access to in my Elevated Mastermind is becoming a thought leader. And so that a lot takes like you managing your own thoughts and you being aware and conscious of your own thoughts and how they are creating your results, but also then taking your thoughts that are pure, that are amazing, that are great, and creating your own model, creating your own methodology, creating and owning your ideas. And it's like marketing and sales is 80% of our businesses. It really is something that we need to pay attention to if we do want to call in dream clients and be able to deliver our deliverables. So it's not like what I teach is like, I made this thing up. This is a proven system, but there are just thoughts and concepts and ideas that come from my personal background of psychotherapy and marketing and sales, the art of marketing and sales, the psychology behind it all, and using that as for something great, because these things and the psychology of it all can be used for fear and fear ways and can be used to create fear in a society. We see it all the time. And so how can we really use our skills and our thoughts and our own ideas and really elevate, like you said, humanity? Like this is bigger than us. Yes, we love our clients and we love the containers we create. And there's this bigger vision that each activist that you get to help, you can feel that ripple effect, that it does change the world. You activate a light in someone else so that they're able to do their deep work in the world and create change in the world and be taken care of for themselves. I know that was all over the place, but like, I believe that everyone can feel what we're really here to do together. And it's like, it is as big as changing the world. And when clients come to me and they're like, this vision is big, then that's great, because then I can help them take just one step, create one live video, create one post, create your message, refine your message. And we get to take step by step action towards that big dream that we all share of living in a more beautiful place where everyone is accepted, queer, vegan, activists, folks that really are bringing in the new paradigm. We are new earthers. We are here. We've been sent here. We're light leaders. We're star seeds. And we've been sent here for something big. And I truly believe that. So thank you for shining your light and refining your message and helping people that you are being called to help right now.
Thank you.
Yeah. So anything else you want to share to our audience? Yeah, let us know.
There's one thing that's been coming back, and you've been in Bali. I've lived on Bali for a bit more than 2 years now, and coaches everywhere, leaders everywhere. Everybody is, like stepping into that role. And time after time after time, what I am looking at and what I'm seeing, and I'm not afraid to put that out there. I've done that before, and I've pointed out people which are like, look, you may have the capacity to do that, to offer that guidance, to teach that person how to make heart-aligned money, to teach that person the structure. But are you fucking embodied? Like, do you really live it? Do you really live it? And I don't feel that. I'm getting goosebumps right now, which I notice it's a sign of truth. That's something that happens a lot, more and more and more. Also in the mastermind, sometimes when you said something, it was like, oh, goosebumps all over. It's true. And what I just so appreciate is that when a teacher, a guru, a leader, a guide is embodied, and hands down, you just are. And I love you for that. I really do.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for saying that and expressing that. I'm so receiving that right now, because it's so what I want to express to folks is like, you can share your gifts with the world. You can help people. And it starts with you. Like, it starts with you and receiving support, receiving guidance. And this is something that I really speak into now more than ever. It's like, of course, you have the right to go out and help people. And when you combine that with you actually receiving guidance and support and put yourself in a community and see your healers and actually have the abundance to be supported in that way, then you automatically elevate your value. You don't have to kind of say, like, pressure people into seeing your value, like, see me, even in relationships, like that was something I had to work on. And you can take these skills and go like, well, I wouldn't show up in a relationship and try to prove my worth. Why am I doing that in my business? Or the other way, like, I don't in my business kind of show up and prove my worth. I am sharing what I've done. I'm sharing how I've helped people. And if you haven't yet helped someone, you still get to, you get to go out there and help someone. And I do truly believe the best way to start helping someone is to receive support for yourself. Like, a lot of people come to me and they say, well, I don't have a coaching certification, but I'm working with like highly intuitive people, like folks that are guided, psychics, channels. And this is why I say, yeah, I work with coaches. I do, but I also work with intuitive guides and I work with creatives, because if you can paint or you can sing, you can teach someone how to write a song. That's how I started, is I taught, even though I had, degree in psychotherapy, I was teaching folks how to write a song in 5 days and channel a song and how to open up their channel. And I was able to do this because I had sat at the foot of a Swami, because I had received support, because I have a space where I am safe to bring my anger, to bring my challenges, to bring my down times, so that I can become a clear channel for when I sit in front of my clients and not bring my own shit. Can we say shit? We could say sex, we could say shit to that container. And that's that embodied expression. So what I'm trying to say from this is, like, you get to have your stuff. You don't have to be perfect or be embodied in everything. It's like, what are you here to share? What are your gifts? What really lights you up? And as you're embodying that, then you become an energetic match for the folks you desire to call in. And then all marketing works. Everywhere you are on the internet works, because you are an embodiment of your message, of the program that you're delivering. And that's really, really beautiful. So get started. Like, you get started wherever you are, but get started through receiving support in some way. And even when I first started, I was inside of free Facebook groups. I was really kind of seeing who was my next level guide. And I've hired really beautiful next level guides. I just hired Juliana Garcia, beautiful Latina millionaire coach. And that was my next level hire for me, because she's quite expensive for the short amount of time that we're going to get work together. And she is truly embodied in what she does. And just from me being able to, and I do have my one-to-one mentorship with Kim Argetsinger. And these women have just shown me what it can be like to really embody wealth from a heart-centered place of care and delivery, and making sure that our programs are of sound integrity. But I do want to just say again, like, get started. Like, how do you create a program in integrity? Is you create the program in integrity. You create it, you deliver it a few times, you get really better at what you do. And then you are elevating each step. Thank you for listening. That was like channel opened and coming through. Yeah. So we know where we can find you. We know that who your program helps. What is the next program that you're putting out, and who should really be getting inside your world right now so that they can be helped by you?
Everybody. No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, everybody. Yes.
Everybody. Before I say that, I just want to talk about embodiment for just a second. You said you embody your message and you are an embodied coach. But what I actually more meant is you're an embodied human. Because I remembered, even though when you're an embodied being, and I remember there were posts of you where you were like, can you go through emotional shit whilst running like a coaching business or a mentorship business? Can you? And you were pretty open about it. You didn't share the details, which was just not needed, but you were just open about it. You were like a no bullshit people. Look, this is my issues. I have them too. And that's what I mean by embodied, because a lot of people just shine the light side of things and they don't put the spotlight on, look, this is what I'm actually also going through. Like I'm actually going, when I was working in the mastermind, I went through a breakup myself as well. And I talked about it. I even recorded a podcast episode the day I decided to break up, and I was in tears in the podcast episode, you know, just be real as you can, because people want to come to you as the real you. That's like, we're like people that create, I don't know, you know, huge courses on how to set up your laptop or tech things or whatever. They don't have to do that, but we have to, because people come to us for us. And so close the circle and answer your question, who should reach out to me right now? Definitely if somebody considers themselves an activist, especially all of the vegans out there that have maybe tiptoed into the realm of doing some inner work, some holistic health work, you know, maybe, you know, should meditate more, or you've heard of breath work and you think it could be great for you, but just you have never received access. This is where my Changemaker program comes in and gives you access and the skills and helps you even integrate those holistic health practices that really serve you to find that inner balance, so that you can show up as an activist with more energy, with more compassion, because that's what we're doing it for. We're compassionate for the animals, for the Black people, for the queer people, for whoever is suppressed. We're compassionate. So why not be compassionate to those that just didn't get it yet, so we can help them get it and embody it. So those people should reach out to me immediately, because every day you're spending time in anger. And if you're debating with people, is another day that you are not leaving the impact you're supposed to leave, and that you deeply want, that you wish to leave. And I'm here to help you with that. Other than that, your mental health is going to go up. Your relationships are going to get better. Your whole life is going to get more sparkly, because mine is sparkly. And so hang around with me. And so that will happen as well. And since I have 2 signature offers, the conscious relating, aka the art of conscious relating, I just decided, actually, because a lot of people feedback me that they want to do that, but right now they don't have the funds to do a real in-person mastermind. I also created the content inside of a course shape, which has also been amazing to have your resources again with. Like, how do I relaunch a live program and reshape it into a course that is automated, partially automated? So the Conscious Relating Mastermind will be running one more time from January on. And the Art of Conscious Relating is the course that was birthed out of the mastermind, is also available from January on. And this is really for everybody who just sucks at doing relationships. If you just suck at it, let's be real here. If you just keep attracting the wrong guys or girls, if you feel lonely and sad every evening and you want to change that so that you can be open to attract somebody that really like serves you and you serve them in the way you want to, conscious relating, it's a whole concept that channeled through me over the past years and finally found its shape now. And it's an art of having, nourishing, creating, and attracting healthy conscious relationships, which is a desire for so many out there. And I'm in Facebook support groups where I see everybody ask these same questions again that are all connected to, I'm ashamed, I feel fear, is he lying to me? Am I being cheated on? And instead of asking those questions, you could just ask really deep down questions of, who is serving me? Am I serving myself in this relationship? Shall I keep going? Shall I break up? If I break up, how do I do that? How do I manage myself? If you want to get better and master this art, the art of conscious relating, then it's for time. Reach out to me.
And I really encourage everyone. And this is what it's all about. Is actually, I have been inside of programs where I am working on this aspect of becoming the one, becoming the chooser, that these kind of relationships are not outside of myself, that what do I truly want? And just doing that work with you as a supportive human and not having to do that work alone, because it can get deep. You really have to look at yourself and your patterns. And this work has actually made my business, my business grow. So it's like, right. Like, it's like really doing the self-development, personal work with folks who are there and are supporting you and really know how to hold space for that depth of connection with yourself. It's like, this is the deepest self-love that you can give. People think self-love is like, I did my nails or I took a bath. And yes, for me, my baths are my nervous system regulator. I bathe and I watch the water flow over me and I meditate in the bath. So it really is for me, but it's not about personal hygiene in that way, like making sure I'm clean to attract a man. It's like making sure my inner awareness and my thoughts are clean and that I am regarding myself enough to know that I'm worthy to even receive support from a mentor and a guide and to receive support around things that I would actually think are weird. Because especially in relationships, I'm like, wait, am I weird? And then you get into a container and you're like, well, yeah, I'm weird, but so are all these beautiful humans. And they're doing it and they're receiving support and they're moving through these blockages and they're moving beyond. And from this work that I know that you do in this life, I've been able to really not waste my time with distractions of these kind of thoughts of what am I doing wrong? Or yeah, why do I keep attracting the same kind of emotionally unavailable human? I don't ask that question anymore. I know why, and I have skills and tools to make it different. And so the work that you're doing in both of your programs is so immensely valuable. Exactly what you said for your whole life. Your businesses will also grow, like, because you will be receiving and you won't be distracted by those kind of thoughts. And so I really want to commend you for just helping the world in the way that you do. And thank you for being here and for choosing my mastermind and for all that you've gone through in your life to make it to this point and to believe in yourself and go all in on yourself. It's been such a joy and a pleasure to work with you and to continue our relationship outside of the mastermind and having calls like this. I really honor you and all your growth. And I can't wait to see how many more people you get to serve in this new year and make the world a better place. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And exactly the same right back at you. Exactly the same. Thank you for really showing up the way you do and for holding space the way you do, because I've invested in some things for myself that were important and that were needed. But this has really been the priciest investment. And it has been that investment that truly catapulted me. It's funny. A client said to me exactly the same sentence I'm realizing right now. She said, like, hey, your program, it catapulted me to where I wanted to be. And so I'm just going to repeat her. Thank you for that again.
Yeah, you did that. Yeah, you did that. You chose you and you made a scary decision. And I just want to touch on that for just one moment. If that's what it's about, know that we both have payment plans that we can coach you through that kind of resistance to investing in yourself, because it really is that you are always going to make your money back in infinite ways. And you're going to receive guidance that is long lasting. It's long lasting. It's like, it's forever lasting, like a seed and something that you guide your humans through. It only appreciates in value. It only grows. That seed grows inside of them. And 10 years from now, they're going to be in a beautiful relationship and being able to share their own truth and change the world as activists because of a seed of a wisdom that you offered in that container. And so I love this industry that we're in because, you can buy a car, you can buy a fancy purse, even like I love things. Don't get me wrong. This cup is very valuable to me, but like, yeah, buy your cup, even the microphone. Cool. Yeah. But someday this is going to disintegrate, but your coaching, your guidance, that is going to last in your people for a lifetime. And so thank you for stepping into your power. And I will leave all of the links, depending on where you're watching this lovely video, here. so that you can contact June, that queer and vegan health and relationship coach. And if you're interested in the Conscious Creative Business School or the Elevated Mastermind, which is that next step, then reach out to me. I would so love to work with you. We are both available to hear your story. And I know we both have free groups and access to us, clarity calls, that you can come on those calls and share your story and connect with us. So thank you. And I will talk to you so soon.
Bye.